"Come into my parlor," the spider said to the fly. "We can have some fun, just you and I." Diana Yeager thought of that line as she walked through a less-than-savory part of town. She was dressed as a businesswoman, her appearance sharp and professional. Her jet black hair was neatly styled in a French roll, and her makeup was minimal, giving her a polished, office-ready look. She wore a lavender skirt suit with a peach-colored blouse, carrying a matching shoulder bag and a briefcase. She moved with purpose, her eyes scanning the street as she seemed to search for an address. Sam Todd noticed her, limping along on his crutches. "What's a woman like her doing around here?" he wondered. "I'd better keep an eye on her. This part of town can get rough." He kept a distance, following about half a block behind, watching as she carefully studied the buildings around her. Diana stopped for a moment, then turned and noticed the man following her. She briefly scanned his mind and saw that he was just a lonely man with no intention of causing harm. She resumed her walk, focused on her mission. Come out, wherever you are," Diana hummed to herself as she reached the corner. Crossing the street, she turned left. "Fulmer, then Oak," she murmured. She was now on Trexler Avenue, where she expected the encounter. She continued to the corner of Trexler and Fulmer, where she felt the shift in the atmosphere. Probing mentally, she sensed someone waiting nearby, hidden in an alley. "Found you," she thought. "Now, let's see. Who's vulnerable here? Who's scared? Oh, please don't hurt me. I'm lost, can you help me?" she imagined, crossing the street. Sam struggled to keep up as best he could, but in his heart, he couldn't shake the feeling that something might happen to her. As she crossed the street, he paused. Ahead of her, in the shadows, someone leaned against a building. Mike Smith observed Diana as she crossed the street. "Looks like tonight's my night," he thought. "She's got a nice figure. I'm going to have a good time, whether she likes it or not." He gripped the hunting knife hidden in his pocket, preparing for what he expected to unfold. Diana stopped near the corner, scanning her surroundings, pretending to be lost. Mike approached her with a smirk. "Lady, you need some help? You look lost." "I'm trying to find a George Carver on Oak Street," Diana replied. "I have some papers for him to sign." She moved slightly away, thinking, let's see how this plays out. Sam lingered on the corner, leaning on his crutches. Maybe he's the one she's looking for, he thought, before continuing his awkward pace forward. "Oh, I know George real well," Mike said, his grin widening. "I'll take you right to him." He reached out and grabbed her arm, ready to lead her to the non-existent Mr. Carver. "Thank you very much for your help." Diana waited, probed the man's mind, then went with him. Looking around, Mike saw only a crippled man hobbling down the street. "He's down this alley," Mike said. "No! I'm not going in there with you," she said, struggling to get out of his grasp. She acted scared. Mike got out the knife, put it to her neck, and said, "You get in that alley, you stupid person, or I'm gonna cut that pretty throat of yours from ear to ear. Now, move." Shoving her in front of him, Mike forced her down to the end of the alley. "Well, now, here's where we can have some fun. Please don't hurt me. I've only got a few dollars, and..." "Shut up, and get those panties off. I've got a hard-on, and I need a pretty girl like you, sweetheart. Now, get down. Leave her alone." Sam was hobbling down the alley as fast as his crutches would allow. Well, look who's coming to rescue you. A damn cripple. "Get the hell out of here, before I use this on you," Mike retorted, waving the knife around. Sam balanced on one crutch and swung at Mike with the other. Mike easily avoided it, and threw a punch at Sam. It landed rather ineffectually. The two grappled with Sam getting the worst of it. Diana watched as the two fought. "Stop," she said. A few simple gestures and words put Sam down out of the way. "What's the matter, hero boy? Fall down and go boom." Mike turned back to his victim and got a surprise. Diana was surveying him with dark, cold eyes. "You piece of shit. You aren't worth the effort it would take to kill you." "Why you?" He started to speak, but he couldn't get the words out. Something was grasping his throat, choking him. "Oh, great goddess mother, hear your daughter call to you." She started speaking in a language he had never heard: Latin, Greek, Celtic, something else, and the movement of her hands was mesmerizing. The walls of the alley were closing in. Soon, there was a solid wall around them. Then, the pain started. His chest was expanding outward into two massive chests, he was shrinking, and his whole body was changing. Through it all, she stood there chanting, motioning. Mike's clothes were also undergoing rearrangement. Shoes were now platforms, pants, now a blue denim microskirt, the shirt, a tight, low-cut peach-colored blouse. He felt the pain as his male parts were being rearranged to make female organs. Although he could not see it, his face was also undergoing changes: heavy makeup, perfume, and pierced ears with large hoop earrings. His hair now flowing down to his shoulders and beyond. Sam lay on the ground, grimacing at the spectacle unfolding in front of him. He was watching a 6 feet 2 inches man turn into a 5 feet 3 inches woman. "I guess it will be my turn next," he thought. "I wonder what I'll be, bag lady." Finally, it was over. Diana looked at the new woman. "Come on, Michelle, get your ass out here. Buddy is really put at you. Honey, do you want to get your ass kicked around again?" The woman who made that statement was standing about 10 feet from Sam. She looked and dressed like a typical worker. Mike, now Michelle, got up and went with her to a life of taking it instead of giving it. "Now, you'll never harm another woman again." "It's your turn," Diana said. "Please, tell me who you really are." "I mean, since, well, you know," he replied. Diana delved into the mind of the crippled man standing before her. She found his story hidden deep within. He recalled a bus swerving off the road, sliding partway down a cliff. He had rushed to help, rescuing 5 people before attempting to save another. But the bus rolled farther down, trapping him inside. They had to cut him free from the wreckage. Afterward, his girlfriend left him. He had lived as a lonely man ever since, relying on a small disability check. Not a trace of bitterness remained in him. "Since you're so curious, it's Sissy. But here, I go by Diana Yeager." Sissy, the witch from Greek mythology. "Yes, that's me. I was punished and exiled by Hecate for what I did to Ulysses. I've since returned to serve justice and punish those who deserve it. And now, it's your turn. I'm ready. I accept whatever comes." Sissy smiled. "Oh, you do you? We'll see." The chant started again, this time softer, more gentle. Sam lay on the ground, bracing for whatever came next. Diana Yeager walked into her office, greeting everyone she passed. She paused at the door to her private office and asked the temp secretary, "Any messages?" "Your new personal assistant is waiting in your office." "I let her in, I hope that's okay." "No problem, I'm glad you did," Diana replied, opening the door. She looked at the attractive brunette sitting quietly in a chair and introduced herself. "Hi, I'm Diana Yeager." "And you are?" "My name is Samantha Todd, but everyone calls me Sam." "Well, Sam, I hope you enjoy your new role and life here."